Long ago, in a remote corner of the world, ancient astronauts landed from a distant planet with a gift for mankind, the Phoenix. For 1,000 years, he has waited, suspended in time. Now, he's awakened to complete his mission. He searches for his partner, Mira, for only she knows his ultimate assignment on Earth. Dependent on the sun for his strength and survival, endowed with a superior intelligence, he has fully developed the powers of the human mind. Relentlessly pursued by those who seek to control him, he must stay free. The Phoenix.
We've gotten off to a bad start.
No longer need me.
Sit down. I do need you, and that's why you're here. Now, this is everything we know about Bennu. When Fraser first found him in Peru to when he escaped from the Institute in California. It reads like science fiction. But there were too many reliable witnesses. And I'm not talking about Trekkies from Peoria. This is where some of our top scientific minds.
I'm sure they reported exactly what they thought they saw.
I want him, and I want you to find him.
And where do you suggest I start?
Now, this Bennu must find his partner.
That's Mira.
I want you to find him before he finds her. You know, she's buried north of the 30th parallel at some Indian site that was active between the 10th and 12th centuries. Which is when we figure Bennu was deposited in Peru.
And how many of these sites are there?
2,000. That we know of.
How many men do I get?
You have all the money you'll need, and you report only to me.
How many men?
You were given an indefinite leave of absence this morning.
Why?
The agency's official position is that this Bennu does not exist. It's simpler that way.
I don't think I can do it by myself, Harry.
I think you can. You'll get help when you need it. The agency will cooperate unofficially. You can use local law enforcement, providing you are discreet. Do we understand each other?
You have a very unusual pet, Harry.
I picked a little fellow up in Central America a couple of years ago.
What does it eat?
No mice, rats, rabbits, and on special occasions, guinea pigs. Professionally, you'll find its technique fascinating. First, it hypnotizes its victim, then crushes it to death. Have until tomorrow morning to make up your mind.
That won't be necessary. I hate phonies and con artists. I'll find them. Then we'll pick that hippie up on the road.
Lucky I was hauling cement. Where you heading?
I'm going to Tolner.
Well, hop in.
I really appreciate it.
What brings you to Tolner?
Going up to Indian Peak.
You're traveling pretty light, ain't you?
I don't eat much.
You ain't one of them archaeologists or something.
Something.
Well, you don't expect to do your digging or whatever else you do at night, do you?
I'd love to stay for dinner, thank you.
I was just gonna ask you. If I didn't know better, I'd think you'd read mine. Hey, Bucky. Glad to see me, are you, boy? Yeah, I named him after a real pig of a sergeant I had in Korea. I'm the only one he doesn't hate, so watch out. Well, I'll be damned. He likes you.
Because he knows I like him.
Hey, look it, dog. Your job is to act mean with strangers, or I'll be cutting your rations from now on. Darlene? This young fella's gonna stay tonight. But what's your name?
Bennu.
My daughter.
Hi. Listen, if my staying the night's gonna upset you...
Oh, no. It's just that I didn't expect anybody but Daddy for dinner.
Well, I don't want to cause any trouble. Maybe I better go.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. We have plenty to eat.
In that case, I'd love to stay.
He couldn't have just vanished. Maybe he got a ride.
Well, that creep would hang a murder rap on us.
Nah, he looked like a California surfer boy to me. Not the kind that go run into the cops.
Suppose he does.
They still have to prove it. Who are they going to believe? Some beach bum or me? Nah, there's nothing in the world that connects you. Well, except him. Maybe we ought to dump him out now while there's nobody around.
About Indian Peak.
You ask me, naming those places historical landmarks is just an excuse for some Indians to get out of paying taxes.
Now, you know better than that, Daddy.
Well, I'm sorry, Tom. I guess you're right. We've been giving it to them long enough. Now it's their turn. Maybe you can help Ben, who, lift those sacks of cement.
It doesn't look to me like he needs much help.
Maybe you can show him the way to the boathouse.
The barn's there. I heard you ask Dad about Indian Peak.
Have you been there?
Well, my mama died 2 years ago. Peak's where I went a lot after that. Gives me a feeling like I'm not really here. Especially at night. The sky's so bright you read a book by the stars.
You look at the stars a lot?
Whenever I can. Sometimes I dream about it.
About what?
About going there. Space travel and all.
You're not the only one.
Gamma Draconis is a relatively obscure star on the northern part of the sky. Its orbit is so small at this immense distance that it looks like it's traveling in small, tight circles. Ancient astronomers could tell at a glance by its trajectory, used as a sort of gigantic celestial clock.
That's where you say this man Benno came from?
Not the star, one of its planets, Aldebaran.
Don't you find that peculiar, that out of this vast universe, a man is launched here from God knows how many millions of light years away, who looks exactly like us?
What did you expect? Small, green-eyed monsters?
With all the permutations available to nature, something more imaginative.
Yes. Ears on antenna, contra-rotating eyeballs, who knows? Mr. Preminger, I'm an extremely busy man. I have no time for cigar store skeptics.
Doctor, after I was shot down, I spent 6 years in a bamboo cage as a guest of Hanoi. Between extreme bouts of torture, I had plenty of time to figure out my philosophy on life. Sum total, I believe nothing I cannot see, hear, taste, or smell.
So if you personally haven't flown around the Earth, according to you, it's flat? Good night, Mr. Preminger.
Look, I think we're getting off on the wrong track, and that was not my intention. Now, you're convinced that this man is some sort of an ancient astronaut who has these powers. I'll accept that on your reputation.
That's very gracious of you.
What I don't understand is, what is he doing here?
Why don't you ask him?
I don't find that very amusing.
Your agency lost him, I did. All I did was wake him up.
You bungled the job from what I was told.
Preminger, where did you learn your methods of interrogation? In Hanoi?
Is there anything you might be able to tell me that'll help me find him?
Apparently, we were a bit adventuresome when we opened Bennu's time capsule. Seems we destroyed part of its memory bank. That's why he needs to locate his partner.
That's this, Mira?
He needs her to complete his mission.
Why weren't they buried together?
Bennu's people probably didn't want to take any chances.
What chances?
Look what happened.
If Benno contacts you.
And if I don't?
This institute wallows in the federal trough for most of its research grants. It'd be a pity if it all dried up. Now, are you sure you don't want to be a little bit more helpful to me about finding him?
Quite sure.
I reckon that's enough for one night's board and lodging. Hey, Bucky. You don't look like a man who's been shoveling a ton of dirt. Can't even sweat.
I think it feels good to work.
Kind of an expensive-looking bauble for a fellow who's looking for a meal.
It was given to me by someone very close to me. The soil here, it's not very good, is it?
Tell me something I don't know. When I got out of the Army, I had a yen for the simple life. Yeah, I bought this hunk of desert before I knew it was tapped out. That's why I'm trying to grow grapes. Not doing much better with them than I was with the wheat.
They need blue.
I'm sorry?
Every color in the spectrum has a different effect in nature. And they are starving for blue.
A bunch of fellas in suits were down here grubbing around. And all they ever said was, buy more fertilizer. God knows how much 100 was.
Put in 1 pane of blue gelatin for every 7 white. They'll respond to that, and it'll keep the destructive insects away, too.
You wouldn't pull an old fella's leg now, would you?
You know where I come from? We try to use natural resources for everything. There's more power in the sun than most people seem to know.
Well, I've hired a lot of hands in my day, but I've never seen one work the way you do. If you ever want to settle down.
Well, I can think of worse places to be.
What?
I'm not much of the settling kind, but I thank you for the thought.
I couldn't convince him to stay. Sorry.
Well, won't you stay one more night?
You've both been very kind, but I can't.
Well, I'm going into town now. I could give you a ride to the peak if you like.
Thank you.
Well, drop in on Ted Slocum's, will you? Get me a roll of blue gelatin.
Okay.
Well, don't forget, if you ever change your mind.
I won't.
Blue, huh?
Who are you?
I already told you.
Well, how'd you know about me wanting to go to school?
Maybe your father mentioned it?
He didn't. I asked him. Besides, I never talk about that with Daddy.
Why not?
It'd only worry him. The thought of me going away to school and all.
And what makes you think that he wouldn't be able to get along without you?
Well, he can't afford a housekeeper. Never boiled an egg in all his life. When Mom was alive, well, she just weighed on him hand and foot, so I just kind of took over, else he'd starved.
How old was your mother when she died?
She was 43. She looked 70. See what I mean? That picture was taken 2 years ago.
You know, you underestimate your father. Any man who thinks he can grow grapes in this climate can always learn how to boil an egg.
If they catch on, it solves everything, but knowing our patch of dirt like I do, I very much doubt it.
Well, maybe this isn't such a bad climate for grapes after all.
Massey's girl heading out of town. I could follow him, do it real quiet.
No, your solution's always messy. I got a better idea. You're gonna do your civic duty. You're gonna make an anonymous phone call. Right?
Where is it?
Miss Cassidy, our geography teacher, says that Indians used to always go to the top of mountains to look for their gods.
She's right.
Well, maybe that's why this place feels so, I don't know, holy.
It is holy. It's a power spot. That's why you came here when your mother died.
Yeah, I guess it is. That's funny, isn't it? The way certain places make you feel a certain way.
Nobody knew that better than the Indians. They used to look up to the sky for meaning. And the sun for life.
How do you know so much?
Come on, let's get going.
Maybe we'll find something interesting.
What's this about?
Well, I got an anonymous tip you picked up a long-haired crazy last night.
He's not crazy. He's a nice young fella.
Well, your nice young fella might be a murderer. Found a body near the interstate. Where is he, Hal?
Darlene took him up to Indian Peak.
Thanks.
You study the stars at school?
You mean astronomy?
Yes.
Well, it's not taught like a separate subject or anything.
At least not at my school.
But it is at college.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'd like to go.
Look at this.
What is it?
It's a charm stone.
A what?
They were used as markers. I think in this case they were used to mark the winter solstice. See that cleft?
Yeah?
On the shortest day of the year, the sun rises exactly between them, and the Indians celebrate that occasion.
Why?
In the summer, the deer and the rabbits are plentiful, but in the winter, they're not. Well, they celebrate the winter solstice to help bring the sun back.
Well, why do you keep looking at that?
The carving.
Carving?
These Indians recorded any unusual occurrence that they saw in the sky.
You mean like an eclipse?
Something more unusual than that.
What's that?
That's the carving I'm trying to match.
You came all the way up here just for that? Or there's nothing there?
I know.
Hey, you! Hold it! Hold it!
You okay?
Hold it.
He didn't do anything.
Upper openers, you just used dynamite in the state park. But you got more serious trouble waiting for you back in town.
What do we got here? Phoenix will continue in a moment.
You can leave him. Mr. Unger here has stated that he saw you last night near the interstate with the dead man about 9 o'clock. You got anything to say about that?
Yes. Why are you lying?
Do I have to take that off this out-of-town punk?
Well, under the law, it's his word against yours. He's entitled to speak the peace.
Bart's got that list of missing jewelry from Jackson.
All right. I'll have to deal with this. I won't be long. You can sit down.
Interesting situation, ain't it? I did it. You're gonna take the fall. Long hair, crazy clothes, no identification. You're wearing a stolen piece of jewelry around your neck. My. Won't tell anybody who you are, where you're from. You think anybody's gonna believe a word you say? Do you? Huh? Well, don't take it too hard. You'll be back out on the street in 7 years. Now, Orson, I'll have my wife send over some noodle soup. It's her specialty. He eats the same thing we do, Mr. Elder. He ain't starving to death. Well, I'm just trying to be civilized, you know.
Got a real hot one. Santa Fe identified that corpse. He's a drug pusher with a yellow sheet a yard long.
I'll bet he teamed up with that dead pusher, then grabbed the shipment.
Well, that's certainly one possibility.
Get it out of Hal's place.
You want me to go out there and check that out?
Well, I'm due at the coroner's in Selson. We'll do it on the way back.
You know, stealing jewelry, even murder's one thing. But drugs is another. What a boy you are. Well, if you hear anything, you give me a call, yeah?
You'll be the first to know.
Right.
Over in Pelner.
How long will it take us to get there?
About an hour.
Terrific.
Oh, he's not going anywhere. They got him in jail.
Look, you, didn't mention anything to the local sheriff now, did you?
No, what's the big secret?
What, you want these yokels to know they have an ancient astronaut running around town?
He's not doing any running around right now.
How'd you get a fix on him?
They put out a trace. Blonde, 6'1", wearing a gold medallion around his neck. What's he doing in the middle of New Mexico, anyway? Preparing a landing site for his people?
Is there an Indian burial site near Tulna?
Yeah, Indian Pete. Why?
That's why he's here. Let's go.
He's in here, Darlene. He's got a visitor.
You didn't do it, did you?
No.
Well, I've got some money. I can get a lawyer.
Thanks, but that won't be necessary.
I don't understand. Out there, they think you're some kind of maniac.
You believe me, don't you?
Of course I do.
by. What are we gonna do? We'll plant a little evidence out at Hal Massey's place. That ought to tie it up nice and tight.
Let's go, Orson. I'll be over at the coroner's, then at Hal Massey's place. It'd be great if you can identify this medallion before I get back.
On it right now, Sheriff.
All right.
Not the fanciest thing I've ever seen. Well, one thing's for sure. You didn't get it in no 5 and dime. Yeah? Well, Sheriff, a little hot on it. This animal. What are you saying?
I won't forget this, my friend. Anytime you need a favor, just ask. Be careful.
Why did you order a chopper?
We'll be there in a half an hour. Relax.
I've been flying all night long. You relax.
That man, Unger, is planting drugs at your farm. It'll implicate your father. We've got to go there right now.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, you're the one who said I could read minds.
The sheriff said you used explosives on that rock. Did you?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
I used this.
What is it?
It's a kind of transformer. Where I come from, the sun is much stronger than it is here. This intensifies the power and gives me strength.
So that's why you got weak when the deputy took it away?
Yeah. Without it, I can't exist here.
Am I having a close encounter of the third kind?
Go to your father and keep out of the way. It may be dangerous. Go!
The sheriff will be here pretty soon. Let's make it quick. Give me that stuff.
How about over here?
It's a shame to waste good coke on a court exhibit. One of these will be enough evidence. That'll do it.
Somebody's coming. It's the girl. When she goes inside, let's get out of here, okay?
Let's get out of here.
Forget something?
You're out of jail.
Well, I had to make room for you.
It makes my life a whole lot simpler. I just make it a medal for what I'm about to do.
What you looking for in here?
What'd you do to Harvey?
Oh, nothing much.
Well, you don't look so good either. We finally got you. See, the trouble with Dan is, he thinks I'm as dumb as I look. I've been trying to nail him for almost a year now. You sure don't hang around when you want to go places, do you? Well, you did me a favor, really. I've been trying to get the money to strengthen that window for a long time.
I'm free to go?
Well, nothing on the wanted list about that medallion of yours. And despite what you may think, it ain't a crime in Palmer County to wear your hair down to your waist.
Listen, I want to thank you. Darlene said you come back for my sake. Is there anything I can do to oblige?
If Darlene could take me to the interstate, that would be great.
This is a pretty nice place to stay. What'll it take to change your mind?
You're going to college, aren't you? Well, I better get going.
Goodbye.
seem to know.
The Phoenix will continue in a moment.
So you don't have to hitch.
Thanks, but I've got a feeling that you're going to be needing this yourself.
Where are you heading?
Same place you are.
Holy mackerel. Remember that tracer we put out on that blonde fella?
Yeah?
We just got an answer back from the feds. Some G-18 named Preminger?
Hold this man at all costs. A matter of national security. Repeat, all costs. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord.
Great country, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Getting to see all this is one reason I drive a rig. Never could stand being cooped up. Know what I mean?
I sure do.
Crazy truck drivers, they think they own the whole road.